guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another installation of BOXYCHARM for the month of September. So I just got this in the mail. I've been waiting all day because I knew I was going to come today. So I was just like, I want to film this. I want to get it up right away for you guys. So I am ready to just start digging into this box. So the month of September, the theme was wildflowers. So here's the pamphlet. As usual, it has their theme. You see all of the products listed out. I really enjoy these new pamphlets that you get. There's a really beautiful picture of the models they used and all the makeup for this month. For this month, you received 5 products. So I'm kind of debating where I want to start. Here's what the inside of my box looks like right now. I think what I actually want to start with is maybe this item right here. I normally always start with my eyes, but I'm thinking about switching it up. So I'm going to start with the Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten. This one is a full-size item. It has a retail value of $28. And in case you are wondering, there's a tiny little mirror up here at the top of the packaging. And there it is swatched out. It honestly reminds me a lot of the NARS Orgasm. It has that same beautiful pink tone with a little bit of a champagne-y shimmer to it. And this one is also called Tropic Hues. So I think we need to apply this really quickly. Swirl my brush around it. I'm using my Smith 112. Wow, that's powdery when you dip into it. Gonna really tap that off. I'm just gonna start applying this to the cheeks. I had already done my kind of full face. I did, you know, foundation, concealer, a little bit of powder, a little bit of contour, and then that's kind of where I left it because I knew that I was gonna be receiving this blush. They send out those little spoilers ahead of time and they're like, do you wanna know what you're getting? I was like, yes, show me. And it showed that I got this blush. I'm not really sure what's happening, but I think I'm starting to like blushes more and more. It actually looks very pretty. For my personal preference, since I'm kind of just starting to warm up to blushes, I'm not all the way there yet. I think it's a little bit too shimmery for my liking. It makes it a little bit too bold for me. It is very beautiful though, but just be aware that it's gonna give you a lot of shine to your cheeks, so maybe go very gentle with it. Now, digging back into the box, I'm also gonna take an item I usually leave towards the end. This is the Lorac Pro Liquid Lipstick. The retail value of it is $19. And inside this month's box, you could receive 2 shades. There was this shade, which is called Sienna, and then there was another one, which was more of a pinky kind of nude. So I'm just gonna start applying this one. Normally I do this towards the end, and usually the eye look I create can sometimes not really match the lip color, and then I'll have to change it. So that way at least you guys can see this color in case I do have to go a little bit more nudie, depending how dark I go with the eyes. Ooh, because this is a very bold lipstick. I just went for it and I just started applying this, but I think you should definitely go in with a lip liner first. And in a previous BOXYCHARM, I received this one. This is the Jante Bleu Brown Sugar Lip Liner. It is almost a perfect match to this shade of Sienna. If you got that one in your BOXYCHARM in a previous month, look for it and use this before if you got the same shades as me. It's a very close match. It's a beautiful shade though. I'm really enjoying this. I'm hoping that since I put on the lipstick first, it will kind of help me stay a little bit more neutral in the eyes so I don't go as wild, so that way I can show you guys the proper combo of using all the products together instead of having to switch up the lip colors. So fingers crossed. But now we are going to be digging into the box for the second time, which actually I'm going to pull out 2 items. These next 3 are actually all for the eyes. The palette we received in this month's BOXYCHARM was the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale Smoky Eyeshadow Palette. This one retails for $35. You do also receive a pretty large mirror. I'm going to pull this back, which I'm going to combine the next item right now because we're going to use this with a palette. This is the Alamar Cosmetics Ojitos Brush Set. It retails for $18. Now we all know there is going to be a lot of white people mispronouncing this name. If I happen to say it wrong, I do apologize. My last name is Lopez, but I am not Hispanic myself. My husband is, so please do not judge if I say it wrong. But this is a 3-piece brush set. One is a fluffy crease blending brush. The flat painter brush, as she calls it, is for putting a shade all over the lid. And then the last brush, which is the flat one, is the flat liner brush. So you can use that to apply liner or use eyeshadow as liner. I really enjoy using these flatter brushes to actually use on the lower lash line. I find that they give a really nice, precise edge if you're trying to keep something really tight to that lower lash line. It's really good for that purpose. But I am really excited to use these brushes. They look really cute with this green handle. I think that's really nice. I'd actually seen these on her website and I was hoping that they would also put these in the BOXYCHARM. So I'm so happy they did. But now comes the tricky part. With this lip look, what kind of eyeshadow combination do I make? I think to give myself a little bit of a better idea, I'm going to swatch all of these out and then I'm going to show you them. I'm just going to go row by row on my arm. Here we have it, all of the swatches from the palette. The whiter shades in the beginning don't really show up on me, but hey, I kind of figured that they wouldn't, but there's some beautiful shades in here. So I'm going to take the fluffy blending brush from the Alamar brush set, and then I'm going to dip it into this shade right here called Hide and Seek. And I'm just gonna start taking this in the crease and start blending it out as the transition shade. I'm also gonna be taking that same shade on the lower lash line all the way across. Just taking it on that same brush. It's just super quick and easy doing it that way. Now I'm gonna be dipping into this shade over here called Flip Out. I'm taking the shade on my Sephora crease brush and I'm just gonna start working this in the outer V area, taking it in slightly into the crease where we put the transition. And what I realize now is that there wasn't really many matte options in this palette. I think there is 4 total out of 12. The rest are either shimmery or a metallic-y kind of shade. I'm just kind of dragging this in to about halfway here, just really focusing it with my brush, keeping it very tight and precise. Taking it on the lower lash line as well, bringing it in about halfway, I'd say. Now I'm going to be taking the flat painter brush, and I'm going to be taking the shade here called Clutch. I'm going to give it a little bit of help, give it a little spritz, and then just start applying it all over the lid. That was not exactly what I thought it would be. I thought it'd be like 10 times that. Let's do it again. Maybe I didn't pack the brush enough. There we go. Now it's giving a whole lot more amplification. And I'm just working the shade all over the lid, bringing it to that darker shade and just kind of patting out the edges. The eyes are not done yet. We got one more product in the box, and that is the Butter London Stroke of Wow Roll-On Liner. It retails for $19. This liner is one of those little roller wheel liners. I have actually done a full video on a previous roller wheel liner. What brand was it? I think it was Revlon. They'd had their Color Stay one. It's fun at first, but to be quite honest, doing your liner with a wheel liner every single day can be a little bit of a hassle because it is kind of tricky to start to get used to. So honestly, after the video, I was like, oh, this is fun, but then I kind of set it aside and I was like, you know what, it's a little bit impractical. So that's the only issue that I already know is going to come about with this liner, but I'm still going to go ahead and go in with it, do a full-on wing. I think today's look calls for a very dramatic liner, so I'm going to go kind of big and bold. So I'm just going to lightly trace it first, and then just start to fill it in. Okay, liner is on, and like I mentioned earlier, just kind of more of a hassle than what it's actually worth. I did get a very sharp and kind of precise line on the inner corner, but when you're trying to create an even liner all the way around, really kind of bold wing liner, it is difficult to follow the curves because it just wants to go straight. So if you're trying to get like a little bit of a swoop and kind of connect around, it is very difficult to get that. I actually had to lean the little roller and just kind of start laying it down because trying to maneuver it just straight, it wasn't really working that well. So I actually, now doing this whole kind of wing liner look, I want to test out a technique I saw just yesterday. I Love Sarai. She posted a video of a very bold, dramatic wing liner, and I kind of want to test that out for myself. So I'm going to use her technique. I'm going to be taking this darker brown shade down here called Swoop. I'm taking that on my flat painter's brush, and I'm going to start topping that on top of the liner and start patting it in. She does this actually before she applied foundation, so I would recommend doing this the same way so that way you can use a wipe and kind of clean up the edges. So I'm gonna have to try to be very precise since I'm not gonna be able to do that. Actually, I think I'm gonna dip into this shade called After Midnight and start applying that all over the liners. It's gonna be the same technique, I just felt like that brown was a little bit too brown in a way. For the liner look, I feel like this shade will kind of match in a little bit better. She then takes a really small blending brush. I'm going to take my Makeup Geek Defined Crease Brush, and she's just going to start kind of blending that upwards where you place the eyeshadow. You put it on the liner and then a little bit over, and then you're just going to start blending it up. Now this method is completely new to me, but she just made it look so beautiful. I just was so inspired, I had to try it for myself. I'll just keep blending it up and out. First time attempting that method, it's kind of fun. I definitely need to practice it a little bit more. I now want to take the same shade we were just using on the flat liner brush, and I'm just gonna start to kind of line the lower lash line a little bit, connect it up to that liner. Whoa, there we go. Okay, I'm now gonna top everything off with a little bit of mascara. I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Superstar X Fiber and topping it with my Violet Voss lashes in I Don't Care. I'm gonna do that super quick off camera and then I'll be right back to wrap up this video. But here we have it, mascara, lashes are on, and I'm really liking this look. It came out a lot more dramatic and smoky than I kind of had envisioned in my head, but I'm loving the way it looks. I think it kind of helps amplify a look in case maybe you are having a liner day that's not really working out so well, kind of how I felt about this roller liner from Butter London. I just felt like my liner wasn't looking the best, so this definitely helped save the look. So you guys could kind of tell my opinions on each one of these as I was kind of going along, but I have to say the standout from this month's box is the Lorac Pro Liquid Lipstick. This color is absolutely divine and has been staying put. It is a liquid lip, so it is going to last a lot longer, and it does dry into place. And then I also really enjoyed the brush set from Alamar. I think that these three brushes are kind of the three essentials, which is probably why she decided to launch it with this three-piece. I always like to have these three kind of brushes on hand, so I really enjoy these. So those were the standouts of this month's box. I am really happy with the way this month's box turned out. I know that BOXYCHARM Luxe just launched. I personally didn't sign up for it yet. Have you guys signed up for it? I'm kind of curious about it, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to take the plunge and get it yet. If you did get it, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you got and what you think about it. Should I sign up for it next time? But that was it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my unboxing and this look I created. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little bell button. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!